Hey everyone, Brian from Bear Bull Traders here. It is Sunday, January 31st. We got 1 month into the year already. Hard to believe, but a lot of crazy stuff happened last week and expect some more craziness this week. And so we'll see how things unfold there. But starting out by what we can look forward to this week, lots of earnings on deck here. Let's take a quick look at them. Monday, nothing too interesting on Monday. Tuesday gets really interesting. We've got Amazon and Alphabet after the close. Got some energy names before the open. We're going to have a fair number of pharmas this week: Pfizer, Humana, Biogen, and later Thursday, of course, we've got PayPal, Qualcomm, and Thursday will be interesting: Pinterest, Snap, Peloton, always a favorite name to trade. So yeah, lots of interesting things. Amazon and Alphabet will be obviously uh, high on people's radar. So we'll see how those earnings unfold. We've seen reactions to earnings have been quite interesting. In a lot of cases, stocks have run up and then sold off. Saw that with the financials. We saw that with stocks like Apple, and so it'll be interesting to see if that trend continues. Okay, so let's start out by looking at some of the indexes, the transports. And as you can see here, transports really took a beating this week, down, or even down 2.5% on the day. Uh, Definitely a breakdown on the week. We're right back at moving average here, 20 moving average, even a little below it. And on a week, we lost almost 6%. So, yeah, and on volume too, by the way. So, this was a bit of a harbinger of things to come. I mentioned this last week, and I also mentioned on Wednesday how transports were breaking down. Transports are often a leading indicator as to where the rest of the market's going. So, this is not very constructive for the people that want to be long. And you can see here on the Dow, of course, another bad day Friday, big sell off day. They've been high volume days, these sell offs. So this is typical of a sell off. So you get a big flush, and then of course you get the bargain hunters coming in that think the bottom is in. And of course we came off the 50 on the Thursday, had a big up day, but a significant pullback. So that kind of set us up for another down day on Friday. So what am I expecting? We were down 200 on the futures when they opened up at 6 o'clock, I guess, Eastern time. And now they're almost a green. So I would not be surprised to see the futures green as we open up in the morning, but we'll see what transpires between now and then. Again, you can see the weekly. We're really running out of steam here. RSI is rolling over. This is on volume again, so this is more institutional selling um, than say just straight retail. So institutions cutting back a little bit. You can see all the index or all these indicators kind of rolling over a bit here on stochastics, RSI, etc. The Qs again lost the 20 moving average on the Friday, and it looks like we may be heading lower. We're back into an area where we might find some resistance, and on the week we lost 3.33% roughly. So back to kind of a level. Maybe we'll find some support here. Of course, the Qs have been one of the ones that have performed the best, the technology sector. But again, RSI kind of rolling over here. We were pretty overbought, so this isn't really surprising that we're getting some profit taking here. And I don't see a huge pullback coming. Maybe a bit of a correction, but not a significant pullback. Again, the SPY, same kind of action. Sell off Wednesday, bit of a bounce Thursday, and more selling Friday. So I think we're going to be in a bit of a choppy range here until we settle out. We are back at on the SPY. We seem to be really right back at an area where we should see some support here. You can see prior resistance, a breakout from prior resistance, check back, became support, and then we went higher. But now we've been kind of choppy. So back at support, also on that 50 moving average. So I would expect again some support in this area, and you can see here that the selling and buying has been on volume. So institutions have been playing as well as the retail side of things. Again, SPY, we're off well on the day. This is the weekly chart actually. Again, 3 1/3% down. Same sort of comments here. IWM, same comments really. It didn't really even bounce on Thursday, just kept selling on volume. RSI looking a little bit on the weak side. It's back down to 50. Stochastics below 50. We know that rallies tend to fade when stochastics are that low. So of all the indexes, IWM really does look the worst. It was down almost 4.5% on the week. But again, really overbought here. And so not surprising, we are getting a bit of a pullback on the IWM. Again, don't expect a huge sell-off, but certainly getting some profit taking. The TLT, the price of the bonds, they are coming back up. So although they did sell off quite a bit Wednesday and Thursday, so right back down to some support here. So again, we're just watching these yields. You can see yields, again, they seem to be holding this moving average, even though they do come down and test it and maybe drop a little below it. But again, just keeping a close eye on this. I'll be interested to see this week if we get through the 1.15. As these yields go higher, becomes more and more of a concern, I think, with the markets overall to the long side. So you can see here we're getting a bit of a bounce on the stochastics. Let's keep an eye on that, definitely. And the other thing we want to, and you can see here, just quickly again with the yield prices again, on the week over week, we are definitely in an uptrend. This is still the same trend higher, even though we've gotten a bit of a pullback here. We are still trending higher. RSI is going up. So again, the trend though on a weekly basis for yields is still higher. This is the other interesting thing that's going on. The dollar really has bounced back from this sell-off, and now is looking like it's churning. I think the dollar is up a little bit right now as we speak. And of course, as the dollar goes up, emerging markets and materials tend to drop. It's usually inversely correlated. So you can see RSI here is making a series of higher lows. Stochastics are turning back up again. So it seems like I'd be watching this to see if we can break and hold through that 50 moving average to move higher, and watch out with your materials. And we will talk a little bit more about silver in a minute, which seems to be the next big thing on the Reddit boards. So we'll get to that in a few minutes here. And I just thought I'd throw up a Bitcoin. Bitcoin's down quite a bit here. I think it's down about 4% as we're speaking. Of course, markets are always open on that. So I think I read somewhere it had lost some support level. This is doesn't show the actual market action at this moment, but yeah, so people that are watching Bitcoin and trading Bitcoin, be watching this 50 moving average to hold here. So let's go over some of these squeeze plays that happened last week. A lot of people day trading them, swing trading them. It's just been a wild and crazy week with all the stuff going on, restrictions in trading, volumes, restrictions in buying. It's been pretty wild. And yeah, you can see here AMC, of course, this is one of the big squeeze plays. Jumped from $5 to $20 overnight. That was from Tuesday to Wednesday. That was amazing, but big pullback Thursday, bit of an inside day on Friday. Not really an inside day, just a hollow fill candle, which means it still was up on the day, but closed out lower than the open. So we'll see where this goes tomorrow. My concern with a lot of these, I'll just make a general comment, is that, if it looks like it's always a fight between buyers and sellers. Let's just start out that way. If you're buying up here, if you're buying down here, yeah, it's great. This is a good time to get in when the mania starts. But if you're buying up here, who's going to be the buyer who's going to buy you out at a higher price? That's the question you have to ask. And sometimes there are buyers, and other times there aren't. But at this point, you're taking a big risk that there may not be a lot of buyers above this level. They may be running out. Who's going to be the next buyer that's going to step in and buy the shares from you at a higher price? So you can see what happened here, that basically the buyers dried up. And because there's always selling going on, as soon as the selling happens, and usually accelerates once you once you realize that there aren't any more buyers, the sellers accelerate. So we'll see what happens with AMC. But again, we've kind of established a range. Obviously, somewhere around 7, there's going to be some significant support, maybe even around 9. But yeah, watch for these to chop in that range, because it seems like you've got some of these people that just want to hold no matter what. BlackBerry, another case in point here. Who's going to be, basically who is going to be the buyer above 28? Obviously, no takers. So we had sell-offs on both those days, Thursday and Friday. If we can get down into this 12 and a half, 12 level, probably have a bounce. And yeah, so that might be something you might want to watch. But again, at this point in time, you're kind of playing in the deep end of the pool, or you're playing at the end of the party. BBBY, there's another one, sort of same comments. I mean, what if you've gotten back in here? This is probably your better play. Getting in back now is you're really late to the game. And GameStop, of course, wouldn't want to miss out on GameStop. Again, it's going to be interesting to see if you've got any buyers above this 400 level. And if, that's going to be the key. We'll see if, you've got people holding, but are there going to be buyers above 400? Maybe there are. I don't know. I'm not that smart, but we'll see what happens. Space, again, here's one that's just fighting in this area here. Are there going to be buyers up there? I don't know. We'll see. So those are the squeeze plays of last week, probably still be in play next week. So as far as actives go right now, I've got this DBA trade, agriculture. I still think we've got inflation, maybe not being reported so much, so I'm still holding on to DBA. It's making a bit of a pennant here, and I'm just waiting to see which way it breaks. I'm liking the RSI turning up here. Not bad volume on Friday. Again, stochastic still above 50, so keeping an eye on that one. I don't want to see it close below this moving average. That's close, not necessarily trade below it. I got out of EEM just because the dollar seemed to be strengthening, and we just lost this 20, so I'm out of this one completely now. I'd already scaled back quite a bit. Facebook, no, I'm not in right now. Should delete that actually. That was a options trade did some time ago. IPOF I got back into. I did sell it because it seemed to be selling off here. I did get back into it. It's like any other trade. If looks like it's not going your way, just get out of it. But I did get back into it, and I'm holding a small size. Just small size because everything looks like it's sort of going to chop and consolidate. So I'm just keeping my position small. LAC I'm back in, and as long as we kind of hold this 20 moving average, we'll hang on to that one. PLTR I'm not in right now. Should delete that one as well. And this other Vietnam one I got out of when it started to break down here, and the 20 started to roll over, so got out of that. Remainder of that had a small position left, and Zoom, no position in that either. Haven't updated this for a while. So that's it. The other thing I'll be watching here is, as I mentioned earlier, silver. This is the Silver Trust. You can see here it's had a couple big days, and they're, of course, on Reddit, they've been talking about this is going to be the next big squeeze, but I'm not 100% so sure about this one. People that are familiar with the Hunt brothers in the 80s know they lost hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. This is 80s money. With a trying to corner the silver market, they were trying to do what the Reddit people are doing right now. They're trying to force the price higher, and it did actually in the 80s go up to $50 before I guess some regulations changed that really just wiped out their positions. I don't know that that's going to happen this time, but the silver market is way bigger than GameStop, and it's controlled by some pretty big players like J.P. Morgan. So, and I'm not even sure J.P. Morgan would be unhappy if the price did go up. So, yeah, who knows where this is going to go? But I think this is you can see here the volume that came in on Thursday and Friday with silver. I know it's gapping up right now in the pre-market. So we'll see where this one goes, but certainly it's something to keep an eye on. Silver, you can play that with SLV. Um, you can also play a stock like PAS, which doesn't actually own any silver mines, but I believe they buy the output. So they're not necessarily tied specifically to a particular mine, but a group of mines. So diversification there. So let's see, this will probably gap up tomorrow as well. So just keep an eye on silver to see what all the retail traders and Reddit traders are going to, how they're going to push this around. But yeah, just be careful trading this one. So that's it for the evening. So guys, we'll see you hopefully in the morning, 8:30 a.m. Norman Carlos with the pre-market show, and then 9:30 we're trading the market. And as always, this is my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade, if you haven't checked it out yet. So have a great rest of the evening, everybody, whatever's left of it, and hopefully we will see you in the morning. Take care. Bye for now.